All right, get ready because today we're diving deep into one of football's biggest rivalries.
Huge.
Everton versus Liverpool.
It's the Merseyside Derby.
Exactly. And to make it even more...
To add even more spice to this,
Yeah.
it's the last one at Goodison Park before Everton moved to their new stadium.
I know.
It's going to be a big one.
Big one. So we've got a ton of articles and previews and tactical breakdowns to really get into it.
Absolutely. We've got all the angles covered. So if you haven't been following the Premier League too closely, don't worry. We've got you.
We'll bring you right up to speed.
Yeah, get you ready. You'll be an expert by the end of this.
Exactly. So first off, this match should have happened back in December.
Oh, yeah.
But Storm Dar had other ideas.
Storm Dar wreaked havoc, didn't it? It postponed a lot of fixtures.
Yeah, so it was rescheduled.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
And now it's just adding to all the excitement and all the tension.
Oh, for sure. The anticipation is huge.
Now, right now, Liverpool are sitting pretty at the top of the Premier League.
They are flying high, aren't they?
19 games unbeaten.
Wow.
If they get a win here, they'll be 9 points ahead of Arsenal.
Yeah, they're looking unstoppable.
And this is what I find so interesting. They just lost to Plymouth Argyle in the FA Cup.
Yeah, that was a shock result, wasn't it?
Plymouths are in a lower league.
Yeah, much lower down the table.
So to lose to them just a few days before this huge derby.
Just days before such a crucial match.
I don't know. What do you think? Was that just a fluke?
Well, it's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
Liverpool's new manager, Arne Slot, he did rotate the squad quite a bit for that game.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe he had one eye on this match.
Yeah, rushing up.
Possibly.
But maybe it's a sign, maybe they are a little bit vulnerable.
Could be some cracks starting to show.
Yeah.
It's worth noting, though, that Slot's tactics have been quite different.
Different how?
Well, he's brought in a very possession-based style.
Okay.
A lot of emphasis on those quick passes. And movement.
Okay, so maybe Plymouth just figured out a way to disrupt that flow.
They might have found a chink in the armor.
And maybe that's something Everton will try and do.
Potentially, yeah. They'll have studied that game for sure.
Yeah. Interesting. But we also have to remember that Everton themselves are in a very different place than they were under Sean Dyche.
Oh, absolutely. The arrival of David Moyes has been a breath of fresh air.
3 wins out of 5 since he's come back.
Yeah, he's made an instant impact.
But the most amazing stat, I think, is that they've gotten 2 back-to-back 3-0 halftime leads at home.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's the first time they've done that in 63 years.
That just shows you the transformation.
Yeah.
Moyes just gets Everton.
Yeah, he was there for 11 years before.
Exactly. He knows the club inside out.
So he's brought back a belief, hasn't he?
Yeah, there's a new sense of confidence around the place.
Okay, so we've got Liverpool maybe a little bit shaky after that loss.
Potentially, yeah.
And an Everton side revitalized under Moyes.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a fascinating clash.
But even though Liverpool have been dominant overall at Goodison Park, it's been a different story.
Yeah, they have struggled there in recent years.
2 wins in their last 12 matches at Goodison.
The atmosphere at Goodison can be intimidating.
Yeah, it's like there's something about that place that throws them off.
I think the history, the rivalry, it all adds to the pressure.
Yeah, and now that this is the last derby at Goodison before they move,
makes it even more significant.
I mean, it's the end of an era, isn't it?
Decades of memories.
Yeah.
Iconic moments.
All coming down to this.
All culminating in this final showdown.
And statistically, this is a big one, too.
Oh, yeah, the stats are fascinating.
Liverpool are on the verge of a huge milestone.
Yeah, this is a big one.
100 league wins against a single opponent.
You don't see that very often.
And guess who that opponent is?
Let me guess Everton.
You got it. But wait, there's more. Everton has a chance to make history, too.
Oh, really? What's that?
Back-to-back derby wins for the first time in 40 years.
Wow, so both teams have a lot to play for.
Absolutely. But then you look back at the history of this fixture.
Yeah.
And there have been a surprisingly high number of 0-0 draws.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah. I think sometimes the tension, the importance of the occasion, it just leads to this really cagey tactical battle.
It can be a real war of attrition sometimes.
Yeah. So how do you think Moyes is going to set up his team?
Well, he can't just park the bus, can he?
No, he can't.
Not at home.
But he has to find a way to counter Liverpool's attack.
Yeah, they have some serious firepower, don't they?
Yeah, with players like Salah, Gakpo, and Diaz.
Oh yeah, they can hurt you from anywhere.
And then you've got the fullbacks, Robertson and Alexander-Arnold.
Those two are like extra midfielders.
They're always putting in dangerous crosses.
Yeah, they are a constant threat.
So what do you think? What's the plan?
Well, I think Moyes will go with a compact midfield and defense.
Okay, so limiting space for Liverpool's creative players.
Exactly. Make it hard for them to find those gaps.
And then what?
And then hit them on the counterattack.
Okay, so using the pace of Gray and Calvert-Lewin.
Exactly. If they can get those two running in behind,
yeah,
Liverpool could be in trouble.
So that midfield battle is going to be crucial.
Well, absolutely. Whoever winning that battle will likely win the game.
Okay, so that's Everton's potential approach. But what about Slot and Liverpool?
Well, they won't be taking Everton lightly this time.
No, definitely not.
Not after that FA Cup upset.
So how do you think they'll approach this?
Well, they'll want to dominate possession.
Okay, so control the tempo.
Exactly. Dictate the pace of the game.
So a classic Liverpool performance.
Yeah. Pressing high, winning the ball back quickly.
Exploiting any gaps in Everton's defense.
Precisely. That's their bread and butter.
But the question is, how will they respond to that defeat?
Psychologically, it could go either way.
Yeah, will they be more cautious?
Or will they double down on their attacking intent?
And what about Everton? How will they deal with the pressure of this being the last derby at Goodison?
Yeah, the weight of history is on their shoulders.
Will they rise to the occasion or crumble under it?
You just never know with these derbies.
I know, that's what makes them so exciting.
The emotional intensity can be a game changer.
For sure, it's more than just tactics and individual talent.
It's about passion.
It's about pride.
And the desire to win for the badge and the fans.
Definitely. All right, so we've talked tactics, we've talked history, but now let's focus on some of the players.
The key protagonists.
Exactly, the ones that could really make a difference in this match.
The match winners.
Yeah, who are you looking at?
Well, for Liverpool, it's hard to look past Mohamed Salah.
Yeah.
His away form this season has been phenomenal.
And he loves scoring against Everton.
He certainly does.
But his record against them lately has been a bit inconsistent.
Yeah, he hasn't been as prolific in the last few derbies.
So maybe Everton have figured out a way to neutralize him.
It's possible they've come up with a plan to stop him.
But even when he's not scoring, he's still a threat.
Oh, absolutely. His movement, his ability to draw defenders.
It creates space for his teammates.
Yeah, he's a constant menace.
So Salah's definitely one to watch for Liverpool.
He's always a danger man.
What about Everton? Who do you think will be key for them?
Well, I think Jordan Pickford in goal could be crucial.
Yeah?
He's been in fantastic form lately.
Making some big saves.
Yeah, he's kept him in games.
And in a derby where the margins are so fine,
one mistake,
one moment of brilliance,
it can decide the game.
So Pickford needs to be on top of his game.
Definitely. And beyond the individual performances, I think the midfield battle will be fascinating.
Oh yeah, that's always a key area in these games.
Everton's Bukayo and Onana.
Yeah, they are strong and athletic.
They need to disrupt Liverpool's rhythm.
Yeah, stop them from controlling the game.
Win those second balls.
If they can do that, it could create chances for Everton on the break.
Absolutely. That's how they might hurt Liverpool.
Okay, so we've got Salah versus Everton's defense.
A classic battle.
Pickford against Liverpool's attack.
Another key matchup.
And then that midfield battle for control.
The engine room of the game.
Yeah, it sounds like those could be the deciding factors.
Potentially, but remember, derbies often defy logic.
Yeah. Form goes out the window.
It's all about who wants it more on the day.
The passion, the pride.
The desire to win for the badge and the fans.
And speaking of the fans,
the 12th man.
We have to talk about what this last derby at Goodison means.
This isn't just about 3 points, is it?
No, it's about saying goodbye to a stadium that's been at the heart of this rivalry.
A historic ground.
For generations.
So many memories.
So much drama.
Legendary players.
All battling it out on that pitch.
It's the end of an era.
Think about all the last-minute winners.
The controversial tackles.
The roar of the crowd.
It's all etched into the history of Goodison Park.
And for Everton fans, this is their chance to say goodbye.
A chance to create one final, unforgettable memory.
Before they move on.
Yeah, to their new home.
And who knows, maybe they can send Goodison off with a bang.
A victory over their rivals.
Something to really celebrate.
A story to tell the grandkids.
You mentioned earlier how derbies defy logic.
Yeah.
I think this one's a perfect example.
How so?
Well, Liverpool are the clear favorites of the paper.
Yeah, you'd have to say that.
But you can't ignore the emotional factor.
Yeah, the Everton fans will be up for this one.
They'll want to make it a night to remember.
They'll be roaring their team.
Creating an atmosphere that's just electric.
It's going to be intense.
So what do you think? Who's going to win?
Honestly, it's too close to call.
I know.
My head says Liverpool.
Yeah.
They're formed the quality of their squad.
They're the better team on paper.
But my gut tells me Everton could pull off an upset.
Yeah, I feel it too.
The emotion, the determination.
They'll be fired up for this one.
Anything could happen.
That's the beauty of these derbies.
You just never know.
We can analyze all we want.
Tactics players.
But ultimately, the beauty is in the mystery.
The unpredictability.
We'll just have to wait and see what happens on the pitch.
It's going to be a night to remember, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
So get ready for a game that you won't soon forget.
And to wrap up this deep dive, we want to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Head over to our social media channels.
Yeah, let us know number predictions.
Your thoughts on the key players.
And what this historic last derby at Goodison means to you.
We'll be looking out for your comments.
So until then, enjoy the game.
It's going to be epic.
Okay, so we've talked tactics, we've talked history, but let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The players. Who are the ones you've got circled on your lineup? The ones that could really swing this match one way or the other?
Well, for Liverpool, it's almost impossible to ignore Mohamed Salah.
Yeah,
his away game stats this season have been phenomenal, and he's always a threat in front of goal, especially against Everton.
Yeah, but hasn't Salah's record against Everton been I don't know, a bit patchy lately? I mean, he hasn't really lit it up in the last few derbies, has he?
That's a good point.
Could Everton's defense have a strategy to specifically neutralize him?
That's a good point. Everton will definitely be focused on limiting his impact, but even when he's not scoring, Salah's movement, his ability to draw defenders, it creates space for his teammates.
That's true.
You can't.
He's such a constant threat that even if he's having a quiet game, he's still impacting the match.
Yeah, you always have to account for him.
Okay, so Salah's one to watch for Liverpool. What about Everton? Who do you think will be key for them?
Well, I think Jordan Pickford's performance in goal could be crucial.
Yeah.
He's been in excellent form lately, making some incredible saves.
Yeah, he has.
If he can keep Liverpool at bay, it could give Everton the confidence to push forward.
That makes sense. A goalkeeper in top form can really lift the entire team.
For sure.
Especially in a derby where the margins are so tight.
Oh yeah, one or two key saves.
Could be the difference between a win and a loss.
Absolutely. And beyond the individual performances, I think the midfield battle will be fascinating to watch.
Oh yeah. How so?
Everton's Abdoulaye Doucouré and Amadou Onana are both powerful, athletic. They'll need to be at their best to disrupt Liverpool's flow.
Yeah, and if they can win that midfield battle, it could create more opportunities for Everton's attackers on the counter.
Precisely.
So it sounds like this match could hinge on a few key matchups. Salah versus Everton's defense, Pickford versus Liverpool's attack, and the midfield battle for control of the game.
Exactly. But it's important to remember that derbies often defy logic and expectations. Form goes out the window, and the emotional intensity can take over.
Right. It's more than just tactics and individual talent. It's about the passion, the pride, the desire to win, for the badge and for the fans.
And speaking of the fans, I think it's worth taking a moment to really appreciate what this last derby at Goodison means. This isn't just about 3 points. It's about saying goodbye to a stadium that's been at the heart of this rivalry for generations.
It's true. Goodison Park has witnessed so much history, so much drama, so many legendary players battling it out in these iconic blue and red jerseys.
Think about all the last-minute winners, the controversial tackles, the thunderous roars of the crowd. Those walls hold the echoes of countless Derby Day moments, both triumphant and heartbreaking.
And for Everton fans, this is their chance to say goodbye to their beloved old ground, to create one final unforgettable memory before they move on to their new stadium.
It's a chance to bid farewell to a place that's been a part of their lives, a part of their family history for so long.
And who knows, maybe they can even send Goodison off with a bang, a victory over their arch rivals that will be talked about for years to come.
It's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. Remember, they did beat Liverpool in their last encounter at Goodison.
You know, you mentioned earlier about how derbies often defy logic, and I think this one's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Despite Liverpool being the clear favorites on paper,
Yeah.
you just can't discount the emotional factor, the energy that the Everton fans will bring to this match.
Absolutely. The atmosphere at Goodison is always electric, but I think it's going to be on another level for this game. The fans will want to make it a night to remember, a night that those players will never forget.
Okay, so we've talked about tactics, players, and the emotional significance of this match. But now for the million-dollar question, or at least the question that has all of Merseyside buzzing. Who do you think is going to win?
Honestly, it's such a tough one to call.
I know, it really is.
My head says Liverpool just based on their form and the quality of their squad, but my gut tells me this one could go either way.
Yeah.
I'm
right there with you. Logic points to a Liverpool win, but there's something about this being the last derby at Goodison, about the emotion and the determination that Everton will surely bring, that makes me think they could pull off an upset.
Right, and that's what makes this rivalry and derbies in general so compelling. It's that